A seismic shift is underway in North American auto manufacturing, and Canada is at the center of it. By attracting major investments from global automakers, Canada is positioning itself as a stable, reliable hub for the industry. This isn't just about building more cars. It's a strategic response to rising U.S. protectionism. As the U.S. imposes tariffs and prioritizes domestic production, Canada is leveraging its skilled workforce and trade stability to lure companies seeking certainty. The Canadian government is offering incentives and collaborating with unions to secure long-term investment and jobs. This is fundamentally changing the North American auto landscape, introducing new competition and shifting where vehicles and parts are made. With the electric vehicle transition and global trade tensions, Canada is capitalizing on uncertainty, offering automakers a haven of stability. These moves are laying the groundwork for a future where Canada plays a central, influential role in the industry. The balance of power in North American automaking is being redrawn. Canada's strategy is paying off, with automakers making major commitments north of the border. Stellantis is reopening a third shift at its Windsor, Ontario plant, creating hundreds of jobs and signaling long-term confidence in Canadian manufacturing. General Motors is postponing shift reductions at its Oshawa truck plant, directly citing U.S. trade tensions as a reason to keep production in Canada. These moves are part of a broader trend. Automakers are de-risking their supply chains by diversifying production away from the U.S.-Canada's stable political climate, and trade agreements make it an attractive alternative. For workers in Windsor and Oshawa, these investments bring renewed hope and stability after years of uncertainty. The Detroit Three's pivot to Canada is reshaping the industrial map, raising questions about the future distribution of auto production. Automakers are choosing Canada to ensure they can serve the North American market, no matter how U.S. policy shifts. The result: a stronger Canadian auto sector and a new era of competition. The U.S. has upended decades of free trade with a sweeping 25% tariff on all imported cars and parts. The goal: protect American jobs by making foreign vehicles more expensive. The impact is immediate. Global automakers like Volkswagen face huge costs, forcing them to consider building new factories in the U.S. to avoid tariffs. Companies must choose: absorb the tariff, pass costs to consumers, or invest heavily in U.S. manufacturing. Even American giants like GM and Ford are hit, as many of their parts come from abroad and are now subject to tariffs. The result is higher production costs and operational headaches for nearly every automaker. This policy was designed to onshore jobs, but it's also creating chaos in a tightly integrated industry. The tariff wall is forcing a dramatic realignment of supply chains and manufacturing strategies. Automakers are scrambling to adapt, and the entire industry is feeling the shockwaves. The new trade landscape is anything but predictable. In this tariff-heavy environment, Tesla stands out as a clear winner. Every Tesla sold in the U.S. is built domestically, shielding the company from the 25% import tax that's hammering its rivals. With over 60% of its vehicle content sourced from U.S. suppliers, Tesla's exposure to tariffs is minimal. While other automakers scramble to shift production, Tesla's U.S. base gives it a major cost advantage. The market noticed. Tesla's stock rose as competitors' shares plunged after the tariff announcement. Analysts predict rival EVs could become $5,000 to $15,000 more expensive, handing Tesla a powerful edge. This wasn't a deliberate play for protectionism, but a payoff from Tesla's long-standing U.S. manufacturing focus. As competitors face tough choices, Tesla maintains its pricing and market share. In the chaos of new tariffs, Tesla is uniquely positioned to thrive. Tariffs, supply chain woes, and inflation are hitting American car buyers hard. The average new car price has soared to nearly $49,000, the biggest jump in years. Automakers are passing higher costs to consumers, and the shift to pricier electric vehicles is pushing prices even higher. Ongoing shortages of key parts like semiconductors and batteries are limiting supply, driving prices up further. For many Americans, a new car is becoming unaffordable, forcing buyers into longer loans or the used car market, where prices are also rising. This affordability crisis is changing car ownership. Some buyers are delaying purchases or giving up on new cars altogether. Automakers face a dilemma: protect profits by raising prices, or risk losing customers. Tesla, with its tariff immunity, can keep prices steadier, giving it another advantage. The industry is walking a tightrope, and consumers are feeling the squeeze. The era of affordable new cars is fading fast. Tesla's US advantage is coming at a cost in Canada, where local backlash is growing. It's not a nationwide ban, but a series of targeted actions by cities and organizations. Toronto suspended incentives for taxi fleets buying Teslas, citing the US-Canada trade war. Days later, Tesla was banned from the Vancouver International Auto Show, officially for security reasons after a string of attacks on Tesla vehicles. These moves signal a willingness to use local policy to push back against US economic actions. The result is a patchwork of restrictions that make Canada a tougher market for Tesla. The company is also facing exclusion from industry events and a cooling public image. Tesla's brand is becoming a symbol of cross-border tensions, complicating its business in Canada. Even without national tariffs, local politics are creating new hurdles. The Canadian market is no longer as welcoming for Tesla as it once was. Elon Musk's deepening political ties are creating new risks for Tesla's global brand. As a key advisor to President Trump and head of a new government department, Musk is now closely linked to US nationalist policies. This alignment is hurting Tesla abroad, especially in Canada and Europe, where US policies are unpopular. Incentives for Tesla buyers are being cut, while rival EVs still benefit from government support. Consumer backlash is growing, with protests, boycotts, and even vandalism targeting Tesla. The company's stock has dropped over 40% since December, reflecting the damage to its image. Tesla's identity is now entangled with divisive politics, alienating customers and governments alike. The Musk factor shows how a CEO's political role can directly impact a company's fortunes. Tesla must find a way to separate its brand from its CEO's politics, or risk further decline. The North American auto industry is at a crossroads, shaped by Canadian investment and US protectionism. As GM and Stellantis deepen their Canadian roots, a more robust Canadian auto sector is emerging, less tied to US policy swings. This could fragment the continental market, with supply chains and production decisions increasingly driven by political risk. Tesla's US manufacturing base gives it a price edge at home, but its international prospects are dimming due to political backlash. Consumers face higher prices and fewer choices as the integrated market fractures. In Canada, job security may improve, but model variety could shrink if cross-border trade tightens. The industry faces ongoing disruption as the US and Canada compete for investment and control over EV supply chains. For Tesla, the challenge is to weather international hostility while leveraging its US advantages. The next few years will test the resilience of automakers and reshape the North American automotive map. The stakes are high for companies, workers, and consumers alike. The future of motoring on the continent is being rewritten right now.